Welcome to another edition of Mr. Macabre's Cerebrations Cooking. Well, this is actually the first edition. This is in honor of Ghoul Friday, who has asked me to do a wonderfully gruesome recipe from her collection called Boogers on a Stick. Yum-mo! So today's episode is brought to you by the letter G for gruesome, gross, grotesque, ghoulish, and and I got a cat that's trying to love up against the tripod. Okay, enough of that. Alright, since we've been cooking this morning, we've done pickled tomatoes. You really ought to learn how to pickle. Pickling is fun. And it's not as hard as you think it is. You can do pickling with anything you have in your kitchen usually. You don't have to have any special equipment or anything like that. Canning is totally different, but that's my thing on pickling. Okay, what do we need first? First we need the ingredients. First thing we have is Cheese Whiz. Kraft Cheese Whiz. Of course, you can use any brand that you want to, but it needs to be kind of like the dipping cheese sort of stuff. The stuff that makes broccoli somewhat where you can eat it without gagging. Next, we need pretzel sticks. I don't know why they call it rolled gold, not old gold or something like that. Who cares? Anyhow, I got these big ones because I want big chunky boogers. And lastly, food coloring. Green food coloring. I just use the liquid stuff. I don't know. It was cheap. Next, what we need to do is to melt the cheese. For that we use Mr. Microwave! Yay! Mr. Microwave! So, what we do is, first of all, we take the lid off. Never, ever microwave anything with a lid on or with metal. Unless you like to see all that sort of sparkly stuff, which screws your microwave up and makes a mess. Alright, I don't really know how long to do this for, so we'll start it at 130. And by the magic of videography, we'll skip forward to the next step, what this is doing. That didn't make no sense. Next thing we need is wax paper. Somewhere. I do not have wax paper. You need wax paper. But since I don't have any wax paper, since I used it all or something, I'm going to use, it's called a Still Pat, which is basically a silicone impregnated piece of fabric. We'll plop it on the table. Anything non-stick will do. So, pretty. That's what happens when you leave it in there too long without stirring it. As you can see, I am stirring the Cheese Whiz. And it's made a mess. And I'm using a pot holder because it's kind of warm. Now, I don't know when to do this, so we'll just start right now. This is a new thing. We have to take the safety cap off. Here. Yep. Why do I always wear white when I'm cooking? Alright, this is going to be just I guess this is going to be just a trial and error sort of stuff, so we'll put most of it on our hands and put a couple of drops in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One to grow on. can see or can't see. A little bit in there, so we'll start stirring it around. Ooh, kind of pretty actually. Green's one of my favorite colors. And stir around. Here we go. That's starting to look disgusting. Kind of like a light, slimy, snotty green. I think that's what we're going for. Yeah, 8 or 9 drops. That's all you need. You don't want to get a pretty emerald green. You want to go something kind of a gross snot color. It's not too bad. How'd you guys live with me? Some say that's why Miss McCobb's the way she is. Ooh, pretty. That's pretty gross. I'm gonna warm it up one more time. I keep looking down to see if I'm gonna mess up the shirt. Bah. I'll warm it up in a minute. So it's going to take less than a minute, it seems. So I don't know what the... Look, I'm a Vulcan! I'm a Vulcan! I'm bleeding green! So I'm going to wash my hands right quick. Find out that this green food coloring does not come off of your hands. Fun. Now I have some explaining to do. I'm going to have lunch with my folks. Okay, keep in mind one thing. It takes a lot less than a minute to warm up a bottle of Cheez Whiz, or as it looks like cheese gunk. So, instructions that rule Friday. The lovely hunter from Canada. You take your pretzel stick, dunk it in there, now swirl it around, and lay it down to dry. We'll do a couple of these. Ooh, this is disgusting. I wish I had children. They'd love this. I love pretzels. This is work pretty well. Okay, we've done 3. Now we'll let these dry for a second. But I had an idea last night when I was at the grocery store, and to even make this even more disgusting. Give me a minute and I'll show you. Bing! Look, sausage, yummy. Yes, of course, most everybody's in snot kind of, when you're really, really sick, kind of does look like this. But what about those times when you kind of got chunky infection? Okay, is that crossing a line? Because if it is, I want to see if I can go even farther. I figured out that, I thought that, if you put some ground up sausage in there, it would taste good too. I love sausage. My gut says I love sausage, at least. That's gross enough as it is. So, what we're going to do, microwave a couple of these, grind them up, and put them in this.